Hey everyone! In today's tutorial I'm going to teach you how to make the daisy panties. These panties are beginner friendly and don't have any elastics, making them very comfortable. You only need stretch lace, cotton jersey for the crotch lining, thread, and a sewing machine. You'll find the link to the pattern in the description below. The PDF pattern includes the supplies and quantities required for each size. To get started, print the pattern on A4 or US leather paper, making sure to select the option No Scaling or Actual Size before you print. Check the test square to ensure correct printing. Trim off the margins with scissor symbols, then overlap, tape or glue together the pages with the same code. Today I'm making a size small. Refer to the size chart on the PDF file, choose the size that closest corresponds to your measurements, and cut out the pattern in the chosen size. Each size is indicated by a different color and line style. With the pattern pieces ready, let's start cutting the fabric. I'm using this stretch lace, which consists of approximately 90% polyamide and 10% spandex. I'm folding the lace so I can cut two mirrored pieces at once. Place the front and the back patterns onto the lace, with the lace scallops extending beyond the pattern. Before cutting, make sure the parts that will be sewn together are positioned on similar lace edges, especially if using lace with irregular scallops. In this case, it's important to align the front and back crotch with similar scallops. If possible, try to match the sides as well. Now fold the lace and cut the waistband twice on the fold. When folded, the lace I'm using has different scallops on the top and bottom edges, so I just folded it differently, to make the scallops match on the sides of my pattern. Next, I'm using cotton to cut the crotch lining. With all the pieces cut, we can start sewing. The first step is to sew the center front and center back. With right sides together, use a serger to make overlock stitches or use zigzag stitches. Then, I'm going to finish the sides and top edges of the crotch lining with a serger. Now let's move to the sewing machine. I'm sewing the center front and center back, using an overlock stitch. If you don't have a serger, you can use a zigzag stitch. Now I'm finishing the sides and top edges of the crotch lining. This is how it's looking so far. The next step is to sew the crotch. With the careful positioning of the lace scallops during cutting, the front and back crotch parts should align correctly. There are two ways to sew the crotch and the lining. The easiest way is to place the wrong side of the lining with the wrong side of the front lace and sew along the sides and the top part of the lining with a zigzag stitch to attach the lining to the front. Then, sew the back to the front and the lining, placing right sides of the lace together with an overlock, zigzag, or straight stitch. However, I'm going to make an encased seam. Place the lace front and back, right sides together, and place the right side of the crotch lining facing the wrong side of the back, and sew with an overlock, zigzag, or straight stitch. As the scalloped edge of the lace is larger than the lining, the crotch lining will not fully extend to the end of the seam. Ensure that the lace edges meet at the beginning and end of the seam, and the center front and center back seams align in the center. Now, let's attach the lace waistband to the back by placing right sides together and sewing with a serger or zigzag stitch. If you're adding a textile label, I suggest attaching it at the center back. Repeat this step for the front. While sewing, I like to check all my seams, to ensure there are no issues or seams that need to be redone. Join one side with a serger, zigzag, or straight stitch, placing right sides together. Align the lace edges at the start and end of the seam, and ensure that the center front and center back seams match in the center of the right side. To reduce bulk at the seam intersection, you can turn one seam up and the other down on the wrong side. Before sewing the other side, attach the crotch lining to the front. Pin the cotton lining centered to the front, wrong sides should be facing each other, and sew the sides and the top part with a zigzag or straight stitch. Use reverse stitches at the beginning and end of the seam. To change the stitching direction, lower the needle, raise the presser foot, and turn the fabric as needed. Don't forget to use reverse stitches at the end of the seam. Now sew the other side the same way you did the first one, with a serger, zigzag, or straight stitches, placing right sides together. After sewing the other side, it's time to tack the edges to add strength to the seams. Tack the seams on the top and bottom parts of the sides and on both sides of the crotch seam. You can use a straight stitch with backstitching or a small zigzag stitch. Repeat this step for all the mentioned seams. And there you have it. We're finished. Here's the final result. And now you can take a closer look at the details. I absolutely adore these panties. They're not too big, not too small, very comfortable and easy to sew. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to tag me on Instagram when you make your daisy panties. I'd love to see your creations.